Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. And since it's Wednesday, that means I'm on the website and I'm on YouTube. So if you asked your questions below my video yesterday or on the website katiemorton.com, then I found them and I'm going to answer them. And thanks for all of you who tuned in when I was on TV last night. I was very nervous. You could tell at the beginning I was like, oh, it's kind of scary, and it was live, which is even more scary, but I think it went okay. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a TV person. Although it's funny because I do video stuff all the time, but that's to you. And this was like to people I don't know. So anyway, but I had a really good time. Everybody was really nice, and not that I think they're going to watch or anything, but thanks to the Dr. Drew Show for being so hospitable and so wonderful to Sean and I as we kind of navigated those waters. And they got my hair nice and big. The lady was really nice. So anyway, it was a lot of fun, and thanks for all of you who tuned in and gave me, all of your best luck wishes and stuff like that, because it's kind of scary, and they're pretty like they holler back and forth kind of, and I'm not really a yeller, but I guess I'm gonna have to get into it if I want to do that again. So anyway, I have 4 questions and I have a journal topic at the end. So without further ado, question number 1: if someone is morbidly obese and starves themselves to lose weight, is it really something that needs treatment? I understand that anorexia is not safe, even if you're overweight, but neither is obesity. And in the long run, wouldn't the person be better off months down the road skinny with an eating disorder, anorexia, instead of overweight with an eating disorder, binge eating? So wrong. Now, the thing that people forget is that being obese and being underweight I honestly actually believe that there was a study that came out that used to say they were like the same detriment to your body. They harm you just the same. But now someone came out and actually said that being underweight is actually worse for you than being overweight, but everybody's going to have their opinion. But either way, it's both terrible for your body, and starving yourself is never good. It's never healthy. And the thing that people forget is that when we stop eating and we starve ourselves, our body eats different things to keep us alive. Obviously, we're going to lose weight, but it also goes into starvation mode, where it holds on to like fat because it thinks that fat is an energy source and it doesn't want to let go of it, and it will eat at our muscle because it'll use that for energy as well. And our heart is a muscle, and that's not healthy. And also your hair will fall out and your complexion will go to shit, and our skin gets really dry and wrinkly, and we really age our body by doing that. And so if you haven't watched my anorexia video and like 5 facts, I think it is, you don't know about it and what it does to your body, it's important to recognize that. And being overweight and being obese is also very unhealthy. High blood pressure, diabetes, it's just not good. We're supposed to have things in moderation. Eat when you're hungry, stop when you're full, and to work on not using food as a way to cope and actually talking about how we feel. So no, it's actually, no matter what it is, if you're overeating or undereating, it's bad both ways. It's just bad. We gotta treat our bodies well because we only have one, right? And we have to love on our bodies, okay? Okay, question number 2. My therapist thinks that maybe I need medication. I understand that he's the professional and stuff, but I feel like if I've started taking medication, then that would be the point of losing control, and I don't know what to do. Any advice? I found this very interesting because she used the term losing control, and sometimes I tell my clients, because they'll say this to me, like, I feel like everything's out of control. And sometimes I feel like I say to them all the time is, sometimes we have to lose control in order to gain it back in a healthy way. Because oftentimes when we struggle with the eating disorder, we struggle with self-harm, even anxiety and depression, we can really have a issue with control. And things in our life, a lot of times growing up, felt very out of our control because we're usually young, right? Like if we had a alcoholic parent or an abusive parent, we had no control over that. And so what would we control? Ourselves, our body, our food, our whatever it is, right? And it would be internalized, all those feelings that we would rather say like, but that, I don't like that, and stop, and you're bad, and why are you drinking again, and blah, 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 and everything that felt out of control that we couldn't talk about, we stopped it deep, and then it comes out in other ways. And so when we start getting better and we start working on recovery and we start letting go of that a little, it gets really scary, and it can make us feel like everything else is out of control again. And it has caused some of my clients to have like flashbacks and they'll have panic attacks and things like that will come up to almost be reliving the experience just because it's that same sensation of it being out of control. So I would encourage you, if you have a treatment team you trust, which first of all, that's very important. Have a treatment team that you trust and that you know it has your best interest in mind. Express to them your concerns, express to them what you need and what you're hoping to get out of it, and then let them do their jobs. Because we love you. We want to take care of you. We want to make sure you're doing okay. So as long as you trust in that, we have to submit to the process to some extent. And I know it's scary, but it can really give us the best outcome. Okay? Question number 3. Hey, Katie, you did awesome last night. Thanks. Wish they'd let you talk more. Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's what the producer told me. Like, they're going to try to talk over you and get in there. And I don't really get in there, but I tried. I'll do better. It's kind of fun to talk about topics and stuff. Okay, my question is, what is the best part of what you do? What is the hardest? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Something a little more fun, but totally has me curious. Again, congrats on last night and love, love, love your videos. What's the best part of what I do? I think it's the growth factor, watching my clients grow, like in their lives, in their love lives, in their relationships, in their relationship with themselves. I have some clients who keep in touch with me via email sometimes, and it's great they'll send photos or they'll tell me something that they did that thought they'd never do. I have patients who thought they couldn't have children and they end up having a baby, and it's the healing of it and the growth through them and through their lives is what makes my job worth it. And that's what I love, is seeing people do great things and be who I knew they were. I get excited. What's the hardest? Watching people suffer and knowing I can't help them if they won't help themselves. It took me a long time to learn that sometimes when clients aren't ready to get better and people don't want to get better, not even just eating disorders where, I've had clients pass away. Not even just that part. It could be just depression. I have a suicidal patient or someone I have to hospitalize, and it's hard seeing the pain in their eyes and knowing what they're going through, but also knowing they're not ready to let it go yet, and they're not ready to let me help or let anyone help. And so oftentimes that's the hardest for me, just to allow them to go, because I can't. I mean, I'm not God. I can't force things to change, and I can't force them to be ready. And so allowing them their time for their process is the hardest for me. And where do I see myself in 5 years? Hopefully, still doing this, obviously, but I'd like to take it to another level where, maybe I give talks to other therapists who are hoping to get into this realm, and I can do we call them continuing education hours or continuing education units. And I would love to teach people how to, work with eating disorder patients and DBT therapy, and also utilizing social media for the positive and sharing mental health information. So that's kind of where I see it. Maybe writing books that I actually publish, not just my free workbooks, but published books and things like that would be really cool too. So those are things that are in my global goal list. And so hopefully I'll get there. Now, question number 4. I usually have quick flings and casual sex. It's easier, no strings attached. I fell for a really cool guy and we started to date now and are serious, and I've given a lot of time to make sure that I'm actually ready. Personally, I thought I was ready, but I keep on using this busy excuse not to see him. Do you have any advice regarding commitment and opening up? This can be really hard for those of us who have used sex in the past as it doesn't mean anything and whatever. And it's a lot of times, and I don't know this person's situation, but many of my bulimic patients or bipolar patients struggle with this, because oftentimes when we deal with control and release and we do that, I find that my patients do that with sex as well. And it's I don't have to do it. Okay, I'm going to do it. And it's my choice. And I don't really care. My body doesn't even matter. And we get in that mindset where we tell ourselves it's not important. But then when we decide that maybe we want to work on things and we don't want to do that and we want to actually be in a relationship, then we kind of get scared, right? Because it's a totally different feeling to just have sex with someone versus make love to someone. And that's a very big distinction, because sex could be just sex for people, but making love is an intimate experience. So how do we open up? We take our time, we talk to them if they're actually worth it, which I remember hearing this as a teen. My mom saying someone who doesn't think you're worth the wait isn't worth the time or something. And it never really sunk into me until I got older, because I realized that if a guy or a girl really cares about you, they'll be willing to talk with you about it, make sure that you're ready. They want the experience to be great for both of you. And if they're not willing, then better we know now. And just, as much as we want to hang on to relationships and think that things will change and get better, early on in the relationship, if things are shitty right away, that's a red flag. And usually that means that we're better off finding someone who recognizes our worth, because you're all worth it and you're all worth the wait. So I would try to communicate. I would be honest. I would express what used to happen in the past and how you don't want that to be the same, and express how much you care. And maybe you can work together on it, because it has to be something you do together in a way that feels good for both of you. So you want to talk it out. That's the best way to move forward, I think. Okay. Now, my journal topic is a quote from Maya Angelou, and I got this a while ago because of her death recently. I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. And so I think this is a great quote, and this is something we can all take time to think about. Let's see, very topical. Oh, having courage does not mean that we are unafraid. Having courage and showing courage means that we face our fears and we're able to say, I have fallen, but I will get up. And I think that is really powerful. So just take some time to think about the things that you're afraid of, or that you have done even though you were afraid, and how it felt. Let's reflect on both, because sometimes we haven't done those things, right? We're so scared we're kind of paralyzed, and then sometimes we've done them. So I'd like you to reflect on those things and how it felt, because usually it's so freeing and liberating once we've done those things we're scared of. Like going on television. I never thought I'd go on television, and I was, honestly, my heart was like, I was terrified. But then afterwards I thought, I did it, and it wasn't terrible. I didn't ruin the show like I anticipated possibly doing, and I felt really good about it. I was like, look, I did it. So think about those things and pat yourself on the back for all that hard work and all that pushing through that you did, because you may fall down, but you will get up. I love you all. See you tomorrow. I'll be on Twitter, so ask your questions there using the hashtag KatieFAQ. Bye.